Hello friends, welcome back to another session of Kubernetes. So in this session we will learn how to use environment variable in Kubernetes. In our last session we are done with how to use environment variable in Docker, because internally Kubernetes is using Docker as a containerization tool. So at the time of creating container, we need to pass we can pass environment variable explicitly, or else we can set the default environment variable using Docker file also, like course name, course fee, course language. So these we are adding explicitly, not explicitly, that we are adding in our image, uh, in image definition file itself. Or else if you want to override them, you can override them using command prompt when you are creating the container. Okay. But in case of Kubernetes, we are not directly using Docker. Kubernetes is going to use the Docker. We are not creating containers. In Kubernetes, we are not creating container. We are creating pods, and pod will create internally container. So we can say that indirectly Kubernetes will create the container using Docker. We are not creating the Docker container. So in that case, if we want to pass environment variable, we need to learn how we can pass that explicitly if it is required. Okay. So for that one, what we did, we need to, okay, we did in the last session, we have pushed our images to Docker hub already. So we will use that same image and we will create the pods. So let me start the EC2 instances and let me connect. Okay, fine. Open this one and connect it here. SSH I my pair 12 is the username and IP address. IP address of manager node. This is the manager node IP address. Okay, copy that. Yeah, all are running, so just connect. Yes, clear. Now kubectl dot get pods. So currently there is no pod and no pod in my ns also. Okay, fine. So what I will do, I'll create the pod. Simple, I will create the pod, like I will not use any YAML file first. Simply I am just creating. So you can understand from this command, kubectl run pod 2, this pod I am creating, or else go here, come to here. Okay, so first what I am doing, kubectl run my pod 2, pod name is 2, and from which image, tech hub my app 2.0. this 2.0 in our last session we have pushed into Docker hub, that is printing the environment variable. Okay, and this is the namespace. Okay, so go ahead and create the pod. So pod is created. Now the pod is created, you can get the pod in the same namespace. Yes, so it is container creating. Okay, so once this container will be ready or running state, will take some time, I think. Let me, this is the problem, I don't know why it is giving lot of time, it is giving the problem, but let's see. This is the way that sometime it works, and we have found something that can help us. But okay, so you can see now it is in running. So if it is in running state, you can get and see the log. So you can see here if you how you created the container. We have created the container, just we are passing image and namespace, we are not passing any environment variable. So default environment variable it should print whatever the default is. Course language English, okay. Course fee 10,000 and 3 are there. Course name Docker and Kubernetes. So these 3 are there. Remaining all, like this path is added by your operating system. Kubernetes, all Kubernetes related, Kubernetes adding its own environment variable. Okay, fine. Some of them are added by operating system, some of them are added by Kubernetes, and some of them we have added course language, course name and course fee. Fine. So this is the default one. Now what I will do, I will create another pod, my pod 3, and this time what I am doing, I am passing course name, like I am modifying the course name, and one extra I am adding, learning mode, online and offline, online. Okay, fine. So this time what I am doing here, I am creating the pod and I am passing explicitly the parameters, environment variable. How many environment variables we are passing? Just see here. Environment, this env environment variable, environment variable. Course name DevOps I am modifying, but it was Docker and Kubernetes. By default the course name is Docker and Kubernetes. Course fee 10,000, but now I modified to 20,000. Course language given Hindi, and one extra parameter also I am adding, learning mode online. Fine. Okay, some problem, timed out. Okay, so get pods. Okay, so now let's create again. Okay, now pod is created, and okay, still it is in pending, pod 3 in pending state. So once this will be ready, you will see we have modified here. So we have modified the environment variable, course name, course fee and course language, and one extra, learning mode online, we have added. Container creating. Okay, anyways, little bit it's working fastly, but okay. Okay, now it is in running. So go ahead and see the logs. Now if you see the logs, you can see here course language, what we have given, Hindi, it's updating. Okay, course name DevOps, course fee 20,000. okay, we have modified it, and one extra we have added, learning mode online. Fine. But if you see the same logs of my pod 2, in my pod 2 you can see here course fees 10,000, course language English, but here course language is Hindi, and course name Docker and Kubernetes, because this is a default one. In pod, my pod 2, the environment variables are the default one, but in my pod 3, environment variable we are modifying, and extra also we are adding, learning mode is there, new one, but inside this one there is no learning mode. Okay, so this is the way how we can create the pod, but generally we are not creating pod using this single line statement. We are using YAML file to create the pod. and we have to use YAML file always. So the YAML file will be looking like something this. So all are same. These pod definitions, container definitions, all are same. Extra is env. You can add here environment variable. Inside environment variable, name and value, name value can be repeated n number of time. N number of time can be repeated. See, okay. So now create the pod using this YAML file. This just extra is env. We have not added anything extra. All are same. Namespace, my ns, pod name, restart policy always. This is the container definition, and this is the environment variable. Just extra we are adding. So you need to copy this file. Let's go ahead and copy this file. What is the IP address? Okay, so my pod 4 YAML file we need to copy to our server. Yeah, it is copied. So if you see here, okay, my pod 4 is there now, and if you see the same file, this is the same file. Okay, now go ahead and create the container, create the pod. Simple, just you need to execute this file, kubectl create f. F stands for file. Which file? My pod YAML file. Okay, now pod is created. And get the pod in this namespace. So one is running, error, that is okay, leave it, and third one is pending. This is the my pod 4. My pod 4 is in pending state. Once it will be in running state, it will be in running state. Container creating. Okay, container creating. Okay, once it will be in running state, we will see the logs, because before to creating the container we cannot see the logs. Logs will be available after container is ready. Okay, might be taking some time, but okay. This problem came again. Let me resolve. Generally this system is giving more this problem, but let me try to resolve. Let's check the status of kubectl. I don't think so this is some kubectl related problem. This problem is something still it is not resolved. Might be some networking issue, some problem is there, that's why it is not working properly. No. Okay, so still it is container creating. I don't know whether it will take some time or taking more than 4 minutes. You can see here, and it is creating on which node? Worker node 1. Okay. Okay, running. So clear this console and see the logs. See the logs. Yes, I'm seeing the logs all. I'm showing all container 3, pod 3, pod 2, all the logs I will show you first. Okay, so you can see here now, this is the log of my pod 4. My pod 4 is this pod, name is my pod 4. That pod is created from YAML file my pod 4, and it is adding some of the variable, environment variable, like course name, Spring microservice. What is the course name? Course name is Spring microservice. Okay. Value, oh sorry, course name Spring microservice. Course fee 15,000. Okay, 15,000. Course fee, yes, 15,000. Learning mode online and offline. Online, offline. Learning mode online, offline. Language Hindi. Yeah, just check there is anything. Okay, course language Hindi. And one extra, my message I am adding. One more extra I am adding, my message. What is my message? Hello friends, keep supporting us, happy learning, thank you. So hello friends, keep supporting us, happy learning, thank you. So this is extra, these two we have added extra in YAML file, my message and learning mode. Fine. But if you see in my pod 3, we have given the course language is Hindi, but course name is my DevOps, course fee is 20,000, and learning mode online only. And in my pod 2, the default one whatever is added in the image, language is, course language is English, fee is 10,000, and name is Docker and Kubernetes. So this is how you can use environment variable in Kubernetes. Okay. So in our next session we will see config maps in Kubernetes. Like generally, if you see, if it is a 1 or 2 pods, that is okay, you can write in the pod definition itself. If it is a 1 or 2 pod, it is okay, you can write in pod definition file. But generally there will be multiple pods and multiple pod definitions also will be there, and multiple, suppose from this my pod 4 you can create a replica set, or you can create deployments, and that deployments you can scale up, scale down, that you can do easily. But generally you think pod definition file itself is a different, more than one pod definition file are there, and that pod definition file you wants to use the same configuration, same environment variable. How it is possible? It means you need to centralize the environment variable in some place. That is nothing but config map, that we will see in our next session. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day, and we will see you in the next session. Thank you.